This is a complete guide to the Lost Island map on Ark Survival Evolved. In this video, I'm going to show you where to get some basic resources to get your playthrough started, as well as how to tame some unique dinosaurs or creatures that are unique to this map, like the Sinomacrops, the Dinopithecus, and the Amargasaurus. And then we're going to show you how to get all the unique 10 artifacts of the map and how to fight the final boss, the Dinopithecus King of the Lost Island. Let's get into it. Now let's start this video off by showing you the different resources I guess, that you can find across the Lost Island. So at these coordinates over here, I'm going to show you coordinates for each location for things like metal, crystal, all the different areas that I can find. There's obviously a lot more than I show in this video, but these are some that can help you get started in case you don't know where to look for that first playthrough. So here's some more metal nodes. Mostly you'll find metal on the mountains and various outskirts of the map. So go ahead and hit up these locations. You'll often find metal and obsidian together or metal and crystal together, so you can check all these locations. This here is actually by the volcano biome, and when you go here by the volcano, you'll find lots of obsidian and also metal just around. This is another location that is off the other side of the map here, where you can find metal and obsidian in case you have set up your base near this side and you're looking for some resources that are close by for you to farm. Here is another one. This is actually one that I used to be closest to with a base that I had in the ocean. So I used to visit this one all the time. So this is a very nice location for a ton of metal. If you're looking for silica pearls, honestly, this little random spot on the beach is all you need. Like, you can see those little white dots shining in the ocean at these cords over here is just where you're going to get silica. Like, I literally just come here every time they all respawn, and you just like do this whole ocean here, like just in the straight line, it's weird, is packed with silica pearls. So go ahead and loot all of these when you need silica. If you need some rare flowers, actually really nearby the silica over here, and you can see here, there's also crystal at these cords over here in this like weird, like ingrown, like the hole of the ground. I don't know what to call this area. You'll find these blue flowers here, and when you harvest these, they will give you rare flowers. So that's where you're going to get your rare flowers on this map. This is one location that has a ton of crystal. There's also obsidian as well, so you can get obsidian and crystal here. It's a very nice, like, mountainy area where there is crystal all over the place. Also Argentavises, in case you want to tame one of those bad boys. If you want some easy early game cementing paste, then you can go to the beaver dam located right over here. And you can see here, obviously, when you open up the beaver dams, you get a ton of cementing paste. You'll also get some silica and some rare flowers and a ton of wood as well. Here's another section of the map with some more metal, some more crystal, and everything that you can get here. Obviously, all these big mountains generally have resources that you can use. If you like playing hide and go seek, then oil is going to be your worst best friend, because hide and go seek with oil is a nightmare to find on this map, because you can find it in the snow biome and it looks like rocks. This is what oil looks like. It looks like exactly like the stones do. So you have to go to these cords over here, and you got to look out for these rocks that look particularly like the oil rocks. So good luck. If you're looking for a ton of like sulfur, crystal, or metal even, obviously the Wyvern Trench, which is also going to double as the cores for this video over here, you can find sulfur and crystal throughout the entire Wyvern Trench through here, obviously with wyverns and their eggs too, so if you're trying to get yourself some wyverns. There's also metal in this area too, in the bottom of the trench, so come to these cords in case you want to get some resources. If you want a safer source of sulfur to feed your magmasaurs, which are available on this map, you can actually go towards the desert biome right at the bottom of the map, and you can find sulfur and metal and crystal, but it's not the good metal nodes, it's like the half metal nodes, the ones where they're not gold, they're like half gold. So you can come to these like mountaintops over here, these like darker stoned mountaintops, and you can see there's the resources all over the top. The most surprising thing about this map is that it has the most broken source of black pearls known to mankind, or at least Ark kind. Now in this lake over here, there are black pearls all over the place. All over this little lake. This is like the neatest spot to get your black pearls from. The safest way that I've ever seen in Ark Survival Evolved. Now let's move on to some of the unique dinosaurs on the map of Lost Island. So this is a trap that is designed by Captain Fat Dog on YouTube himself. You can check out his video in the link in the description as well. It's basically built like this with foundations, double door frames like this in between, covering each little section here. And then we have fence posts on the top covering them exactly the same way the double doors cover them, right? So it's going to be quite simple building it just like this. It can be as big as you want. Basically, each little square is for each kind of monkey or Dinopithecus that you're trying to trap. And then you're going to use the sloped rooftops like this, the triangle sloped rooftops on all the corners over here. This is going to allow the monkeys to ramp up and basically get stuck inside the trap like this. You can also build a traditional trap where it has ramps and you can just get them all stuck in the middle. This one just allows you to separate that a bit better. So you can see over here, each of them as they go in here, they get stuck in their own little section, and they kind of stay there, like floating, like they're about to perform the newest great hit single of 2022. So now basically what you have to do is see the alpha. The alpha will have a orangey yellow glow around it, and then there's going to be the betas around it. Now, each alpha, in order to tame an alpha, you can only tame the alpha. You have to kill the betas around it. So you have to kill all the ones that are not glowing. So go ahead and just, murder those. And then you can see the alpha will now say the health must be below 85%. So obviously get its health below 85%. You can see here it also cannot attack you in the stance. And now you're going to feed it a meat or exceptional kibble, depending what you have, raw mutton, exceptional kibble, raw prime meat, etc. And now you have it tamed. And yeah, that's as simply done as it can. They're quite fast. They move around quite easily. They can climb, which is fantastic. So double tap spacebar and you can climb different structures. You can also change to a gun and you can aim off of the back of the Dinopithecus, which is very nice for if you're climbing a very high tree and you're trying to tame something. You can also climb over things like, volley over them. You also have the option of selecting between things like poop, grenades, and infested grenades. And these actually use the poop or the grenades that you have in the Dinopithecus inventory. And you can hold this button over here so that you can aim. I'm not sure what this button is for everybody else. For me, it was like one of the interact buttons that you normally use for the dinos. And this allows you to throw the grenades. You also have a heavy attack like this over here with the right click. And then you have your light attacks with your left click over here, which generally makes them an okay tame. Definitely try experience taming one while you're on the map. The next unique creature to the map Lost Island is the Sinomacrops, which is, oh, I hate taming these so mad. They freak out really easily, so always stay crouched around them and just be chill because they don't like fast movements and they don't like it when you get incredibly close. They also love chitin, so if you have chitin armor, they will attack you, and if you have chitin on you, they will have hearts around them and they'll come towards you, asking to be tamed, essentially. So what you have to do is approach them very softly. And while having chitin on your lost spot on your hotbar, you're able to feed them, and then they'll fly away, and you can use the taming progress tracker to track to see where they go. I hate it when they fly over the oceans because they just sometimes never come back. So it's quite a difficult schlep to tame these. But essentially, this is what you got to do. You got to wait for it to kind of fly away, and then you got to get near it again and sneak up to it, let it get your scent, and let it come towards you. And when it comes towards you, you feed it, and that's how you're going to tame one. Using the Sinomacrops allows you to double tap, jump, and start if you hold down spacebar, you can actually literally fly. You can go into glide mode and basically treat it as a glider. Obviously, you can go down, much like all the controls of a glider work the same way. And holding spacebar allows it to just, hover or just flap its wings. Now, you can't just let go of the spacebar if it runs out of stamina. I do believe you still take fall damage, so be very careful with that. It also has a unique attack that when you use the clap emote on yourself over here, it kind of does like a shrieking thing, which I don't particularly find super useful, but it's definitely not a tame that I'm super interested in as well. And then we have the big boy of Lost Island, the Amargasaurus, one of the dreadful tames to try and get in Ark Survival Evolved. It is a tough one, all right? So you're going to need exceptional kibble. I recommend having exceptional kibble. And then you're going to need Freya curry. If you don't have Freya curry, you have a problem because you need to sync up with the Amargasaurus. And the only way you can sync up is by taking a Freya curry, getting near the Amargasaurus, and then you have to interact with it so that you can start the temperature synchronization because you have to have a similar temperature. And then it will now go into a hunting mode with you, and now it will hunt every single predator in the area around you. Either it's going to go attack it by itself if it's in range, or you have to drag it let it follow you while you're in hunting mode where there's nothing to attack, and take it to predators that you need to kill within its presence. And while you do this, it will kind of level up and allow you to feed your kibble to it so that you can start the taming progress. Now, I'm playing with slightly boosted rates here, so don't expect the same kind of thing. It's going to be a difficult ride. It's going to be tough. It's not going to be very easy, especially since you must not hit the Amargasaurus yourself. If you deal damage to the Amargasaurus while it's below 80 or 85%, it will start attacking you, and then that just ruins the whole process. So also don't let the Amargasaurus die, clearly, because that's going to affect your taming effectiveness. this. So just kill everything around you. You can build all variety of traps to either trap the Amargasaurus and bring predators towards it, but you still have to be within range, so you might need a second player. Overall, it's a simple process of like, like what you need to do. You just need to kill predators around it. The hard part is making it happen without the Amargasaurus taking damage and without it being able to run off and, get itself killed or into trouble or just having its general taming effectiveness ruined. So yeah, have fun and good luck. I recommend bringing a net gun launcher so that you can net gun a lot of the predators before they do any damage to the Amargasaurus, and also make sure the Amargasaurus does not take any unnecessary damage. It's for your own right. You can see the blue thing at the top of the screen allows you well, it tells you that the Amargasaurus is hungry, and that's when you need to go to the Amargasaurus, press the interact button, and feed it its next dose of kibble so that it can tame. And essentially, that's what you need to do. Now, when you have tamed an Amargasaurus, they are incredible. They're a very, very good tame. They're able to shoot spikes off of their body. Now, you should note that the more spikes that you use, they do have like a limited amount that you can see at the bottom left of the screen over there. And the more of these you use, I believe the defense of your Amargasaurus actually goes down. Like the more spikes you have, your defense goes up. And you can swap between two types of like spikes that you can shoot out here. So we've got the fire ones that deal damage over time. You got the ice ones that are bigger than the fire ones and slow enemies and actually allow enemies to like freeze and turn into frozen stuff. And then you have the armor breaking one, the one that when you use it on enemies when they're inside there, it will treat them as if they have no armor. So like saddles is not going to make a thing. So if you use this on like enemy dinos where they're attacking you and they have saddles on, they're going to take damage as if they're not wearing saddles. So that it's to essentially make sense of it. So they're quite overpowered, more of a PvP kind of tame, I would say 100%. Though there are some niche cases where you can use this in a boss fight maybe, or like when there's like, extra small minions around a boss or something and you just use the freezing thing to slow them down or the fire thing. It's really up to you, but overall you're probably best bringing another dinosaur for those kinds of fights. But they're a cool tame, I mean, especially for PvP. All right, so let's go ahead and go collect those artifacts. The first one is the artifact of the pack at these coordinates over here. You can't miss it. It's literally a hole in the ground with a waterfall. You're going to be using a grapple hook to get back up here. You'll find sorts of insects in here like spiders, Arthropleura, so bring something like a Megatherium and you should be fine. Obviously a cryopod to get it out as well. You're going to use a grapple hook to go up the waterfall. So facing the waterfall here, you're going to go this direction and you're going to stick towards the left, and you're just basically going to follow every single left turn there is until you run straight up to the artifact. It's super simple. And then you're going to just run back, taking every single right, going towards the waterfall, and you're going to grapple hook to the top. And this is where the artifact of the pack is. Very nice and easy to collect. This is the great one. The next artifact is the artifact of the strong. This one is a little bit tricky, not really tricky, but like, can be a bit confusing. So just follow along here. Those are the chords of the cave where you need to find it. It has the double waterfalls on the outside. When you go in here, you're going to run straight. You're going to run until you reach a wall at the back here. You can also follow these green things at the top of the ceiling, follow them all the way to the back here, and you'll see here it splits off. You're going to go to the right. So you're going to take the right at the back, and then you're going to stick to the left over here on this bridge kind of thing, and you'll see there's water like beneath you. You're going to go to the right over here because there's a hole in the ground. Obviously, you're going to need a grappling hook again, and you can bring something like a Megatherium as well for something like this, or even like a Thylacoleo, whatever you want. So behind the waterfall over here is the direction we're going this time here. So we're going to go behind it, and we're going to follow the water down. You can go on the pathway on the right side of it here, and we're going to take the first right. There is another one further up, but we're going to take the first one that we see here, and you should see like all these colorful like pink and blue trees, and you're going to go into a exit on the other side here, and if you jump, you'll be able to jump to the artifact of the strong, and then you can just turn around and grapple back and run that way, or you can fight your way down through the bottom. I recommend doing it this way and going back up again. The next cave is for the artifact of the hunters. So there are two entrances to this cave. We are approaching from this one. They basically, if you run in a straight line, you'll come out the other exit. So it's not a huge deal, but approach this one if you're going to be following my directions here. So when you run in here, you're going to take the first left. So as you come in here, the first left by these blue mushrooms, you're going to go there. Blue mushrooms, left. Blue mushrooms again, left again. Blue mushrooms, and just keep following the blue mushrooms basically up until you get to a point up ahead here where there's more blue mushrooms. This time you're going to go right along to the long narrow path that goes upwards. Blue mushrooms, left. Okay, left and down. So down here, right? And at this point you're going to go right, and then you're going to see water. When you get here and you see water and you see all of this up ahead, you're going to take an immediate right again because there's a sneaky little turn over here, and we're going to go here and we're going to go under this thing here by crouching, and this will lead you directly to the artifact of the hunter. Quite a simple one really, but it's also easy to get lost in this cave if you get lost. The next cave is for the artifact of the clever, so you're going to have to keep an eye out for this pillar over here, right by the water over here, and basically look at this location east-south. These cords in the water here, you'll see if you look ahead, there is like an entrance to the cave right over here. You just swim a little bit. You don't really need scuba gear for this. It's going to be fine. And we're going to just run through this cave here, just following along the path that I'm taking here. You're basically going to stick to the right. So the general consensus is taking every single right turn that you can while hugging the right wall. So just stay along the right and you should be fine. Just follow along with me here. And you just keep going. It's a bit of a walk, you know, get some exercise in. You'll get to this little split over here. You're going to go to the nice pretty flowers on the right and keep to the right. Super easy. Keep to the right, take every single entrance or pathway towards the right. The first option on the right always. If you see what you see on screen, this means you're going the right way. All right, so here, through here, keep to the right still. Now, when you get to this waterfall, you do need to remember where this location is over here. So keep an eye out for this waterfall because you're going to be grapple hooking back up there to get out of here later on. So be aware of that. Now we're going to follow the river down. So follow where the water's going, and you're just going to keep going along with the water here. When you see these like eggs on the right side, the artifact is on the left. So behind these spiders, you're going to bring a Megatherium as well for this, or a Thylacoleo. And boom, artifact of the clever, sorry. The artifact of the brute will be found in the desert biome. It's the only one here. Follow up this river over here to these cords, as you can see on the screen right now. So when you get here, just use that like river to kind of guide you. You're going to go through here. It's going to be quite simple. It's not a really dreary, confusing one. As you start off, you're going to go towards the left, so take every single left turn until we get to a certain part. So just follow along with me here. Now, you might need something a bit stronger here, like a Thylacoleo, because you're going to see like mantis and you know, some snakes and also Megalosauruses, I think, as well. So just beware. Right. So here, when you get to this open area here, you're not going to go left. Instead, you're going to stay on the higher ground, but over here. So in the middle path. So you're going to go in a straight line in a sense. And you're going to go follow through into this room over here. And you'll see directly on your right above there, this is where the artifact of the brute is just waiting for you to pick it up. Super simple, actually. This cave can be quite difficult to find at first, but this is the artifact of the Cunning cave here, located right over here. As you can see, it's at these cords over here. So just check this like mountainside over here. You should find the entrance. It's not super hard. And as we go through it, let's go show you which direction you need to go. So for this one, you're going to need something like a bug repellent, a shotgun and stuff, because you can actually just wing this one on foot. And actually, I recommend you wing it on foot, though you can always try your luck with a Thylacoleo. Here, when you see the ship, you basically need to go behind the ship. So I just use a grapple and I just go across like this. You can use a parachute as well and guide yourself across here. If you have bug repellent, these things shouldn't even attack you, and you should be able to run in here without any issues at all. Once you get to this kind of split over here, you're going to go to the right towards like the reddish color, the red smoky area. And you're going to keep towards the right here, and you should see the artifact will be directly in front of you on like a pillar in the distance, so you can just jump and parachute or grapple there, and that's how you get the artifact of the clever. So it's actually kind of easy. The next cave is for the artifact of the immune, located on the lava, like the volcano area, actually. So in this like open circle-ish area here, these cords on the like hidden little back left side here, you'll see there's a little entrance here. It's sneaky. It's full of magmasaurs. It's got lava golems or rock golems, I believe, as well. So be careful in here. None of them are here right now because I had to do a destroy wild dinos. Magmasaurs in general are also great to get experience for your tames and yourself. So if you kill magmasaurs in here, it's a great place to farm XP. So when you get here, you're going to follow along this path here. At the back here, it turns right. You can't really get lost up until this point. You'll see there's a bridge over there. You're going to keep to this bridge. Don't fall off here because there is lava below you, and lava is just not fun, right? I'm going to show you a little bit of a faster route towards the end, but for now, you can just run this on foot or with a T-Rex or something. I recommend bringing something beefy because this is a tough cave. So when you get here, you can take a little sneaky path down here. You just need to get onto this like pathway directly below you. So you can just parachute down here, jump off to the right, and you should see the artifact of the immune will literally be right over here. Super simple, super easy to get, and there's Magmasaurs all over the cave at the bottom behind you if you want to go hunt those. But here you can actually parachute down here, and from this location up here, you can see that bridge is the one that we just took earlier to get up there. You can actually, from here, you can come down this pathway instead and grapple up here to get the artifact in a quicker way if you don't want to do like the bridge at the top. So that's a different way you can do it. You can see over here, that's the bridge that we took, and then this goes back to the entrance. This is the artifact of the Devourer. It's tough. Like, you're gonna have to use these islands in front of you with these chords to try and match up what this looks like. So make this look exactly what it does on my screen, because directly below it is a ship. And in the front of the ship here, right at the very front, you'll see you can go in and you'll be able to use a hatchet or a pickaxe, and you'll be able to harvest this wood and break it so that you can get into the bottom here. And once it breaks, you can go in there and pick up the artifact of the Devourer. It's usually a bit more tough because there's sharks and things all around in the water. The final artifact cave holds two artifacts, Artifact of the Devious and Artifact of the Massive, and it's the hardest cave of them all because it's super confusing. So these chords over here, you can see these giant 3 stones like in this kind of like swampy water over here. In between them is a pathway downwards here. You might need a scuba tank and some flippers just to get to the bottom here. And you go all the way down to the bottom, to like the very bottom over here. And you should see one way, when you look here, is a pathway straight. It's the only one that you can follow. Swim along here, and then you'll get into free, like, you know, land again. So you won't need to swim anymore. That's basically it for scuba gear. And now you can follow 2 paths. One goes in the water, which we're not going to do. We're going to stay on the one that stays on foot. So we're going to go to the right here, and you're just going to run along here. There are some things to fight in this cave normally, so you might need something like a Thylacoleo, something strong, beefy, you know, like that, will be able to carry you through this cave here. Even a Megatherium for when we get into the labyrinth later on. So for now, it's just kind of simple until you get here. Here's where the fun begins. This gets super confusing, but let's dumb it down for you. So for most of this first part here, you're going to avoid the traps, the buttons on the ground here. I'm not avoiding them. I'm just jumping over them and just running. You're going to stay along the right wall. So just follow the wall to the right up until you get to a certain point here. So here where you see this body and all this blood on the ground, like beneath you here, follow the blood. In general, when you see blood, follow the blood, right? So here is the first time we're going to go towards where the blood is, but we're still going to stay towards the wall on the right side. So follow the wall on the right here. You can see the blood also leads up the stairs. Stay to the right. Keep following the wall on the right. Like, literally look for any entrance on the right, because that's the one you're going to have to take here. So stay along the right here. If you've seen this, more blood here. Keep to the right again. More traps everywhere, all over this place here. Up the stairs. And this should lead us towards our first artifact sometime soon here. As you get up here, follow the blood again. Don't go near those dead people. They're dead. And then just keep heading towards the end here. It's kind of simple when you follow the right wall, where you only have like one instruction to do. Just following the right, you know. It's just long and confusing if you have to double back. So once you get to this point, you'll see a cell with an artifact of the Devious inside here. Behind these barrels, you'll be able to press this button. It will open up the wall over here. You can go ahead and pick up this artifact. In case you do get stuck in here, there is a button to open up that wall that we just opened up as well. So this one, in case, because it does close after a set amount of time. Now, instead of going through there, we're going to go through here this time, right? So this one also has a different button to open up this gate. Press this button. It's going to open up this kind of like portcullis, and we're going to go through here. And there's some more traps and stuff. And some of these traps will summon monsters like Onyx and spiders and shit like this. This is why I say have a Megatherium, or also have, like, you know, med brews. I mean, in general, every time you're getting artifacts, have med brews. So when you get into this room over here, you'll see there's this pillar with the dead guy next to it and the, like, bloody handprint. Press this button here in order to open this thing over here, right? And you're going to go in here, and you're going to collect the final artifact, the Artifact of the Massive. In case you get locked in this room, there is a button over here that will open up this main door, this main gate right over here, so you won't get locked. All right, so now I'm going to lead you to the fastest way to exit this place. Instead of following the pathway that you got here, because you're probably thinking, wait, how do I get back? We're going to go left, and we're just going to keep going towards the left for now. So follow along with me here. We're not going to go downstairs here. We're going to go through the exit at the back of this room over here. So keep following along here. You can see there's a bunch of like random insects here. Try not to step on any unnecessary traps. And when you're riding a dino, it might be a bit hard, but you can also kill them if you're riding a dino. So there's that too. So just follow along here. It's kind of okay for this point. There is one tricky part coming up here. So we're going to go through here. We're going to stick towards the left. This path is a dead end, so don't go down there. We're going to go along to the left here by the stairs. So this is the only pathway you can take. Some scorpions, nice, love them. And we're going to go upstairs. And we're going to go follow the blood again. This time, you remember I said follow the blood? This time with these bodies, you're going to go upstairs. Right here, you're going to follow the blood this time. Up here, you'll see there's a button on the wall on the right. It will open up the portcullis. You can go through. Here, you have to go upstairs. You're forced to. It's the only pathway. From here, you're just going to run straight across and up the stairs again. Just keep going. It's actually easy at this point. Like, it's not hard. The hardest problem here is just knowing where the buttons are. And since I'm telling you, that should make it easy. Right? So there is a wall here that has a half, like a body sticking out of it. You can see these legs here on the ground with blood. That's the one you're going through. Just to the left of it is a button. You press the button, the door opens, and when you run through here, it will exit the cave and take you to freedom. Good job, you made it. All right, cool. So we have all the artifacts. Now let's look at the other tribute that you need. You just go to any of the 3 obelisks in the map here, and we can check what we need to do the 3 fights in Gamma, Beta, and Alpha difficulty. Starting off with Gamma, as you can see here, it uses 4 of the artifacts. You just have to have those 4, as well as some of those other pods here. For the Beta one, you also need 4 artifacts and a bunch of other like dinosaur pods. And for Alpha, you just need a certain 4 artifacts as well, and some harder to get dinosaur creature parts, which can be a schlep. But it's the same for every map, so you know, you've done this before. Fighting the Dinopithecus King can be incredibly difficult, especially in Alpha difficulty. It's probably one of the hardest bosses because things can go wrong so easily, especially if you're doing this boss solo. I highly recommend having the best stuff you can if you are doing this solo. If you're doing this in a tribe, there are ways to get around the fight. First off, I recommend always having a Uranus to courage roll and keep everything with that defensive buff. It's really nice. Rexes over Therizinos, because Therizinos will harvest wood and also berries, which I actually took them in this fight here and actually made it really difficult. Daedons help with healing, and a Stegosaurus is amazing for you to ride yourself, because having your shotgun and having your character or people in your tribe using shotguns while they're on Stegos is incredibly useful. And let's get into why. Now, the Dinopithecus King boss does not spawn alone, but before we get there, let's just guide our whole army, which is always a mess, towards the arena, which is through this way over here. So just lead them this way. It's super simple. You can figure it out. So once you get them all into the arena, and trust me, you cannot miss the arena, you'll also see the health bar of the boss. The boss won't be engaged until you get close enough, or until you engage him by shooting him with something to bring him down. Wherever he lands, he does a bunch of damage, so you don't want him landing on a group of your stacked dinos. So your dinos need to be kind of spread out, but the problem is they're going to get really spread out by these flying Dinopithecus with the Sinomacrops, right? So your job riding the Stego with a shotgun is going to be shooting the Sinomacrops. Not really the Dinopithecus itself, but shooting the Sinomacrops on its back so that it drops the monkey and doesn't lure your dinos away, because they will constantly try to lure all of your dinos in different directions, allowing your whole army to be split up, which is not a good thing for trying to fight this boss, because this boss will be a nightmare, and if your dinosaurs get too far from you, they just kind of like AFK in a corner, especially in single player. So your job riding the Stegosaurus is to take out those Sinomacrops, right? You can also help shotgun those riders on the Amargasauruses so that they don't use their fire buffs or the ice buffs, or God forbid the armor degrading one, which allows your dinos to pretend they have no more saddles, which means they take regular damage, which is unfortunate. While you're on the shotgun here, you can also take cheeky shots at the boss. It is probably a strategy of its own to get the boss down, because the boss does spend a lot of his time up in high places. So if you actually have a big tribe and you have good shotguns, ride a Stegosaurus into battle and just shotgun the boss, and you'd probably bring him down a nice bit quicker. If you're riding the Uranus, it's your job to make sure everything is courage roared and you know, still going. If you're doing the solo, I highly recommend doing the Stegosaurus method, which I'm doing right now, where I'm just shotgunning everything off. I do wish I brought a fabricated sniper rifle. I think that would help a lot more too. I also do regret not spending more time shooting the boss itself, because the boss takes forever to go down, and even though these dinos are really, really good, they're spawned in, they're made to be super effective, they still died towards the end, like some of them, which was unfortunate. So this fight is incredibly difficult, and it's easy to make things go wrong. So it's best to stick towards your tactics. The main things you need to watch out for is when the boss throws down the slowing poo, or when he jumps down. You can see when, like, if he jumps down into a major area of all your dinos, he does insane damage. I think he does like almost like 2,500 damage to my like really well settled dinos, and that's a lot of damage. And especially since he's going to be doing it quite a lot, you want to be as careful as possible and as fast as possible. The longer this fight goes on, the more deadly it gets. So my best tips are stay on Stegosauruses, shotgun the boss every single time he's at the top there. You want damage on him all the time. Bring as many Rexes and be okay with losing Rexes because it's probably gonna happen. It's unfortunately gonna happen, but your idea of success for this boss fight is to kill the boss as fast as possible before he kills your dinos. It's a race, and he's using a lot of things to distract your dinos and keep them all split up. Like you can see here, my Rex is getting pushed off in the distance there by everything so that he's actually not doing any damage. The other major thing to avoid is not having your dino stand in that armor degrading section over there. That is why they all took this insane amount of damage, as you can see here. So those enemy Amargasaurus need to die before they can start shooting off their spikes. That is another urgent thing for this boss. Otherwise, if you manage to do those and you have your tribe all focus on certain objectives like Sinomacrops, the Amargasaurus riding ones, Dinopithecus, and then just shotgunning the boss when you can, you should be successful. You know, it's just a matter of like allocating resources across. So let's show you what you unlock for beating this boss in Gamma. These are the drops that you will get, the amount of element, as well as the tech engram unlocks at the bottom of the screen over here, along with the flags and everything. For beta difficulty, this is what you're going to unlock. You can see the element amount as well as the engrams you're going to unlock for beta. These two difficulties are much easier to do. The alpha difficulty is insanely hard, but also unlocks all the best stuff. So trying to do this on a single map of Lost Island is going to be tough. If you're playing with other maps, you know, on a cluster, bringing in Shadowmanes and Daynons will be super beneficial for you winning and beating this fight. So good luck, and I hope you guys manage to beat the Lost Island map on Ark Survival Evolved. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you guys next time.